Hello, I would like to welcome you to the Introduction to Canvas workshop. This is meant to give you an overview to get you started in Canvas. Please feel free to add any questions to the chat. We would like to take questions at the end of each section. I'm Mary J. Murphy-Bowne, and Emily Corse is also with me today. We are from the Instructional Design and Technology Department. Our phone number and email address are listed here. If you'd have any additional questions, feel free to contact us for help. Before we get started, I do want to point out to you that we have additional webinars coming up. So today's meant to get you started, but if you are interested in more information on specific areas of using Canvas, perhaps these will help. We'll be offering a webinar on prepping your course site in Canvas, how to augment face-to-face classes with online content, and then specific webinars for assignment and discussion, tests and quizzes, and gradebook and speed grader. For today, this is what we'll be covering. We're going to take a look at what is Canvas, how to navigate Canvas. I will be providing a basic tour. We'll look at the account level and course level navigations, settings, notification preferences, and inbox, as well as some essential course tools, how to communicate with your students, how to share files, how to accept student work, and grades. Let's first look at what is Canvas. Canvas is a learning management system that we use here at Rutgers. It is a way that you can share content with your students, communicate with them, and also organize assessment and feedback. This can be useful even for a face-to-face class. When using Canvas, we strongly recommend that you use a Google Chrome browser for the best results. I do want to also point out that there are two types of sites. There is a sandbox site, which is a blank slate, really a place where you can practice or develop content in a sandbox. It will not be shared with students unless we transfer it to a course site, which is certainly possible, but very, very safe place to work with some of the tools in Canvas to understand them best. A course site is attached to a roster, so this is the real deal. If you would like to request either a sandbox or a course site or both, the email address is listed here for making those requests. So probably the best way to learn Canvas is to actually look at a Canvas site. So that's what we'll be doing next. So here we are at my Canvas dashboard. What you're seeing right here is a card view where you're seeing pictures of each of the courses. If you would come to your Canvas site and do not see this, this view the view can be adjusted by selecting those three dots. So if you are perhaps looking at a recent activity view, selecting the three dots and selecting card view can take you back to this view, which is probably the most useful view for you. So while we're here on this dashboard view, I want to point out to you that this red bar on the far left is your account navigation bar. I want to point out a few things on the account navigation bar before we go into a specific course. The first thing I want to show you is settings. So I'm going to click on my account button, which will bring up another menu. I'm going to select settings from this menu, and this will show my settings for my Canvas account. While we're on this page, I do want to point out that your primary email address indicated by the star should be your NetID email address if you plan on using Zoom with your Canvas account in order for it to work. Let's go back to our menu, our account menu, and select Notifications. On this page, it will show me how I wish to receive notifications related to my courses. So I have two email addresses listed here. You may only have one. You'll see that there's different icons here at each of the possibilities. And they can be reset by just selecting them. So for instance, right now, my due dates are sent to me in a weekly summary. I can change that by clicking on it. I can be notified immediately. I can have a daily summary, a weekly summary, or I can turn this notification off. And that goes for all of the other possible activities associated with your courses and how you want to receive the notifications. I do want to point out to you that this is notifications for you and not for your students. They are also able to set notifications with their accounts. Let's go back to our dashboard. Change it back to our card view. You'll see here that I have 4 published courses that I can see from my dash view. Now, if you have many courses, maybe possibly unpublished that you're working on, this screen can really fill up and feel very cluttered, but I do want to show you how you can adjust what courses show on your dash view. Okay, so I'm going to go to my courses button, which looks like a little book. Select that. You'll see the courses that are listed, and you're going to select all courses. So here you see listed all the courses that I've had some association with. The ones that show up on my dashboard are the ones that have a star. So if I wanted to remove one from showing up on my dashboard, I would just click the star until it's blank, and then it will no longer show up on my dashboard. Likewise, if I wanted to add one, I could click on the star, and then it would be added to my dashboard. Let's go back at dashboard and look. So I have one course that was eliminated and added another instead. So you're free to adjust this and make it the way that you would best want to use it. While we are still looking at the account navigation, I want to point out to you the inbox tool, which is right here. Inbox in Canvas is an internal messaging tool. Okay, using this tool, you're able to send messages to whole classes, specific groups, or individual students. I do want to warn you that if students have turned off the notification for their inbox, they will not receive that notification in email that you have sent an inbox message. So if this is a tool that you're interested in using, you want to stress to your students to not turn off the notification for this tool. To create a new message, you are simply clicking on the pencil. Then you can select, a course or a specific group or a set of students to receive your message. You can simply type in the text, add an attachment, or even add an audio comment to the message, and click send, and it will be sent to the participants that you have selected. So that is the inbox, which is different than announcements, which we'll be talking about shortly. Okay. Now let's go back to dashboard. and look at a specific course. So Emily has set up for us a demo course for this presentation. So we'll take a look at that. I'm opening up the demo course and it's opening up to a home page. We can certainly provide for you a template for a home page that you can edit as you like, so that students have a page that opens right up to your course and gives them some basic information and ways to get started. Simply to edit this page, you would click the pencil and you can edit the information as necessary, making sure that you click save if you are making any adjustments. While we are here on the home page, I want to point out to you that our account navigation is still visible on the far left, but now we have a course navigation bar as well. If we scroll down to settings, this is where we can make some adjustments to the course navigation. I do want to show you an important point here as to how to set up the participation for your course. Okay, so here's the participation section. If your course participation is set to term, that means that the students who are participating will be limited to the institution's start and end dates of the particular semester that your course is being offered. However, if instead you select course, you have some flexibility in setting these dates. You can set it up so that students can view the course before it starts or continue to have view-only access after the course is over. Now, they will only be able to add and participate in the content of the course during the term dates, but they would be able to view it either before or after as you set this up, and that is certainly an option. Okay, making sure that you click update course details if you do make some changes there. Let's take a look at announcements. Okay. Different than Inbox, Announcements is a tool in Canvas for providing information to students. So let's take a look at announcements. Announcements in Canvas is a place where you can send messages to students in your classes. The types of things that you would want to send would be maybe a reminder that a project is due, or maybe a notice that you're going to start class a little bit late the next day. So these would be the kinds of things that you would want to use announcements. This is not the best place to share resources. We'll be talking about files in a little bit. That would be a better place to say resources, because what you share in announcements is not carried over from term to term. So you would not want to share information here that you want to be a permanent part of this course. Let me show you first what announcement looks like. Emily has set up a welcome announcement for her students so that you can see that what that looks like. So let me show you how to add an announcement of your own. Simply click on the plus announcement button. I'm going to give it a title. And type in the text box your message. Now you have some options as to who you'll post it to. If you have multiple sections in a course, you can send it to just one specific section or all sections. Files can be attached. You also have the option of delayed posting. Say you're doing this at 3 in the morning, but you don't want your students to actually receive it until the next day. You can certainly delay the posting of this. It is also an option to allow users to comment. Generally, we discourage this. Remember, for each announcement, students will receive a notification. And if you allow users to comment, they will receive additional notifications each time someone comments. Oftentimes, students are getting very aggravated if they are getting so many notifications, and so limiting them by not allowing user comments might be a good idea. When you have the announcement, how you like it, going to make sure you save it. And that announcement has been set up. Returning to the home page, it'll appear at the top with the recent announcements as long as you have it set up that way so that those announcements appear at the top. Let's look now at files. Files in Canvas is the same thing as resources was in Sakai. So this is the place that we recommend that you share content with your students, whether it be a Word document, PDF, PowerPoint, images, or spreadsheets. This is a place that you want to share it, and it will be carried over from term to term in this course. The organization is very similar to the organization of files on your computer. You can see here that I have folders, and I also have some documents showing up. Folders are a great way to keep things organized. If you want to add a folder, simply click plus folder. Give it a title. And hit the check mark. Now I have a new folder created. Okay. You'll see that I have some loose documents here that aren't in a folder. If you want to add them to a folder, it's really simple just to select and drag. If your list is incredibly long, you can also select and drag to the folder that's visible in the left-hand column. So I can add this to the project folder here as well. Now both of those files are in the project folder. I want to point out to you here that all of my folders are published as indicated by the green check. But there may be instances where you do not want things to be published. So clicking on that certainly gives you some other options. You can either unpublish it, you can have it available only to students who have the link, or you can schedule a specific time when you want it to become available for the students. If you make a change, you're going to want to select update. So that change is saved. Let's look now at how to upload additional documents from your computer. I'm going to select upload if you want to add a document. And here I have some items that can be added. Let's say, for instance, I want to select this sample PowerPoint. I'm going to click on that, select open. It's going to be added to my files, and I can now shift that into the PowerPoint folder so it's all nice and organized. So like I said, the things that you can include in your files are documents, PDFs, images, PowerPoints, and spreadsheets. Let's briefly look at assignments and grades at this point. Now, like I said, there's a webinar that's going to go into these in much more detail, but for our purposes today, I at least want you to see what an assignment looks like. So I'm going to click on assignments in the course navigation. You'll see here that we have some assignments entered. For our purposes today, we have the assignment set up in categories, which is a really good way to do if you are interested in having certain percentages of the grade coming from different aspects of the course. Setting them up in categories can allow you to do that. We can certainly assist you with that if need be. Let's take a look at an example of an assignment. Here is a case study assignment that Emily has entered. You can see that it is published. If you had entered an assignment and needed to edit it, there's certainly that option here. Another thing that I recommend is that checking assignments from a student view, so you know what your students are seeing, is really easy to do by just clicking the Student View button. This shows you exactly what it will look like to your students. Return to the editing view. Okay, so Emily has this assignment set up for 100 points, and it is an uploaded document or PDF with the due date and who it is due for. So in our webinar on assignments, we'll certainly go into much more details on how to set these up, but I did want you to see what this looks like today. And finally, let's take a very quick look at how grades are displayed. Okay, not too many grades right now in this sample course, but you can see that we have the percentages as indicated in our assignments and the assignments that have been set up. So very quick overview of what the gradebook looks like, and certainly in future webinars we will go into greater detail as far as assignments and gradebook. So for today, we took a look at what is Canvas. We took a look at both the account level navigation and the course level navigation, homepage and how to edit that. We went into setting up assignments, uploading resources, and then took a very brief look at assignments and grades, certainly to be covered in more depth in later webinars. So now I would like you to give you the opportunity for any additional questions. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today.